Hello there, AP World History students. My name is Luis Silva, and today we're looking at the rise of Islam. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to like this video, and also do not forget to share this video so that we can help out other students get ready to take the AP World History exam. What will we learn today? Today we are going to trace the origins and expansion of the Islamic world between 600 CE and 1300 CE. We are also going to explain the origins of Islam and the growth of the Islamic Empire. Let's move on. Now let's do an overview of Islam. Around 600 AD, a new monotheistic religion began called Islam. The faith was founded by the Prophet Muhammad. His followers, called Muslims, spread Islam throughout the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and also Europe. By 750 AD, Muslim leaders built an empire. Islam first expanded through military conquest. The rulers of the Islamic empires were also religious leaders. Here we have a map of the spread of Islam from about 622 all the way to 850. As you can see here, in 622, Muhammad's journey to Medina begins the spread of Islam. In 661, capital moves from Medina to Damascus, later to Baghdad. In 732, the Franks were able to stop the Muslims from advancing into the territory. And in 751, Muslims prevent Chinese conquest of Islamic lands. Very important events that were taking place. The Islamic Empire connected diverse people through religion and trade. Please keep this in mind. Religion and trade. Muslim scholars focus on learning and develop numerous cultural achievements that are still used today. Today, Islam is the world's fastest growing religion, with more than 1 billion followers throughout the world. You have the information about the world population to the right. It's a little outdated because we have more than 6.2 billion people in the world, but you can clearly see how religion impacts the entire world. If you look at the bottom here, you have Buddhism with 362 million followers. You have Christianity with 2 billion followers. Then you have Hinduism with 820 million followers. You have Islam with 1.2 billion followers. You have Judaism with 14.5 million followers. And you also have Confucianism with 6.3 million followers. So this is a world full of religions. Here we have the Muslim world. As you can see here, you're more than welcome, by the way, to pause this video and examine the map carefully. But as you can see here, you have different countries with high population of Muslims. You're more than welcome again to pause this video and review all of the information, but you can see that the Middle East, Northern Africa, the Asian part of the world, and the other parts such as Russia and Europe have big populations of Muslims. What was Arabia like before the Prophet Muhammad? Here we have a map in which you see two empires. You see the Byzantine Empire to the left hand side, which is that dark mustard looking color, and you also have the Sassanid Empire to the right hand side, which is that dark purple color. You also see a whole bunch of trading routes. This is very important because trade helped to spread, in this case, religion. You also see that some of the trade brought to the area spices, perfumes, precious metals, ivory, silk, and other products. So this area was inundated with trade from different parts of the world. This facilitated the ideas or movement of ideas, movement of goods, movement of people, and obviously the movement of religion. Arabia was the birthplace of Islam, and also this is where it began to spread to other parts of the world. The Arabian Peninsula is a desert region with little fertile soil or farming. Most Arabs lived in desert tribes which were centered around families and were ruled by clans. Arabia was not united under a single government, but Arabs did have something in common. In this case, their language, Arabic, and this facilitated communication. This obviously led to people understanding one another and being able to spread Islam. Most Arabs were polytheistic. Please remember this. But Arabia was the intersection of three continents. In this case, you had Africa, you had Asia, and you had Europe. So it was an important region for trade and had lots of cultural diffusion. Please remember cultural diffusion. Please remember what that means. One of the wealthiest trade cities in Arabia was Mecca. Mecca was also a religious city. The Kaaba was a cube that held statues of hundreds of gods. Arabs made pilgrimage to Mecca to visit the Kaaba. Very important in world history. But who was Muhammad? Let's look at Muhammad's early life. He was born in Mecca in the year 570 into a poor clan, was orphaned at a young age, and was raised by his grandparents. As an adult, Muhammad became an honest and successful merchant. He was able to marry a wealthy widow and started a family. But what happened to Muhammad in the year 610? Muhammad created Islam. Muhammad's work brought him into contact with Jewish and Christian merchants. In 610, Muhammad was told by the angel Gabriel that he was a prophet sent to earth by God. He began preaching a new monotheistic faith called Islam, surrender to God. What is the basic concept of Islam? If you look to the right, you have this tree in which you see everything started with Adam, and then you go to Noah, and then you go to Abraham. Once you get to Abraham, you have a division basically. To the right hand side, you have Jesus at the bottom, and to the left hand side, you have Muhammad. And this is basically the basic concept of Islam. So in this case, you're able to understand where Muhammad came from and also where Jesus came from. Islam. Some of the basic beliefs of Islam. Followers of Islam are called Muslims, who believe in one God called Allah. Allah is the same God worshipped by Jews and Christians. Muslims believe Muhammad was the last of God's prophets. The teachings of Muhammad were written down in the Quran. And this is the holy book of Islam. Christianity has the Bible, Islam has the Quran, and they see this as a sacred holy book. How did some people respond to Muhammad's new religion? Let's look at the reactions to Islam. By 613, Muhammad began preaching his new ideas in Mecca. Some people were attracted to Islam, but many people feared Muhammad's growing popularity and that Mecca would lose its status as a holy city. Now, how did Muhammad react to violence by non-Muslims in Mecca? After years of attacks, Muhammad and his followers fled to Medina. The migration was known as the Hijra. In Medina, Muhammad gained new converts who put Islam above their families and their clans. He taught respect for Christians and Jewish, people of the book. What did Muhammad do after he gained converts and returned to Mecca? Let's see. In 630, Muhammad was able to return to Mecca with 10,000 troops and was also able to conquer the city. He destroyed the god statues in the Kaaba, leaving only the statue for Allah or Allah. This time, the people in Mecca converted to Islam. And in 632, like every other human being, Muhammad died. What happened to Islam after Muhammad died? Well, Muslims were very busy spreading the teachings of Muhammad, Islam. And you have a map in front of you which basically tells you the spread of the Islamic empires from the year 622 all the way to 850. You see that basically the entire Middle East is covered by this religion, northern parts of Africa, all the way to Spain, and it kept growing and expanding to other parts of the world. So this religion became a dominant religion during this particular time period, and it continues even today. The Islamic Empire. After Muhammad, Islamic leaders created an empire. The Islamic Empire had well-trained troops that conquered nearby regions. The massive empire led to great wealth for Muslims and new opportunities to spread Islam. We have come to the end of this presentation. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to like this video, and also do not forget to share this video so that we can help out other students get ready to take their AP World History exam and be successful by passing it with a high score. And I will see you in the next presentation.